Whoa. 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 It's the illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. It is Sober Wednesday, isn't it? It is Wednesday. I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday, right? Yeah, I'm going with it's Wednesday. Seems very Wednesday-ish. Sober Wednesday, dude. We made it one more time. What's going on, Stefan, Dan Z? We are here live for another edition of Sober Wednesday, the hour dedicated to the solution for those that are suffering, because it's important that when we're suffering, we know that there is a solution. What's going on, everybody? What is going on, man? It is Sober Wednesday here. And I think we just open up with the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I always trip out, man. The wisdom to know the difference. The wisdom to know the difference. That is the challenge, isn't it? The wisdom to know the difference. So yeah, dude, we're here. We're gonna get into this Sober Wednesday. So whatever is keeping you from having conscious contact with God is it's getting in the way. And sobriety is conscious contact with God, and not repeating the same mistakes, letting God run the show, carrying this message to those who suffer. And so that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna do that. So I like to read the 2 pages from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. Though this is not affiliated with AA in any way, shape, or form, do we not endorse nor oppose AA. It is just that we like these 2 handy pages from the big books Alcoholics Anonymous, because it lays out a pretty simple outline how to regain a level of connectivity with a God of your understanding that might actually work to alleviate some of the things that are bringing you down. So let me read this. Chapter 5, how it works. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program, usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They're not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They're naturally incapable of developing and grasping a manner of living which demands rigorous honesty. Their chances are less than average. There are those who suffer from grave emotional and mental disorders, but many of them do recover if they have the capacity to be honest. Our stories disclose in a general way what we used to be like, what happened, and what we are like now. If you decide you want what we have and are willing to go to any length to get it, then you are ready to take certain steps. At some of these, we balked. We thought we could find an easier, softer way, but we could not. With all the earnestness at our command, we beg of you to be fearless and thorough from the very start. Some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. Remember that we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, powerful. Without help, it is too much for us, but there is one who has all power. That one is God. May you find him now. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. Here are the steps we took, which are suggested as a program of recovery. 1, we were powerless over alcohol that our lives had become unmanageable. 2, came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood him. 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. 5, admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. 6, we're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. 7, humbly asked him to remove our shortcomings. 8, made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. 9, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except to do so would injure them or others. 10, continued to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, praying only for the knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and practice these principles in all of our affairs. Many of us exclaimed, what in order? We cannot go through with it. Do not be discouraged. No one among us has been able to maintain anything like perfect adherence to these principles. We are not saints. The point is that we're willing to grow along spiritual lines. The principles we set down are guides to progress. We claim spiritual progress rather than spiritual perfection. Our description of the alcoholic, the chapter of the agnostic, and our personal adventures before and after make clear 3 pertinent ideas. A, that we were alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. B, that probably no human power could have relieved our alcoholism. And C, that God could and would if he were sought. All right. We got that part of it handled. I don't have a real agenda on this one. I would say that the my thought coming into this is every day is a new day, right? Every day is a new day. And that is sort of the trick to remember with alcoholism, man, is that whatever's sort of going on in any given day, the gig is you got to sort of ride it out. You got to ride it out, get through the day, wrap it all up for the day, not blow it too hard, and a new day will come, though it is not guaranteed, right? So I think that I've been talking about like the last like 3 or 4 episodes here of about embracing an acceptance of our anger, acceptance of our failings, dealing with the things that set us back. Because I think from my perspective, or my journey so far, is that the real solution lies in how you deal with the problems, right? And sometimes the problems are just the reality of the daily struggle, So, I mean, I look at it's been my life's been tricky like the last couple weeks, right? But today we got up, we tried it new again. We all, we tried it new again, dude. We admitted our faults this morning. And again, I think that there's kind of alcoholism as an individual commingling with other alcoholics in the solution. And then there's sort of the alcoholic in a family unit having to do the family thing, right? And some of us, so in a family unit, we got to work together. It's a totally different dynamic than being a solo operator, intermingling with our fellow alcoholics, right? So in the family setting, like it's very hard to get everybody on the same page, pulling in the same direction at once. And then you that's just for your normals. You're just your rego people. And then you throw in the alcoholism and the need to be the conductor, the need to be like, and so, you live in this kind of dual world, like, especially as a father and a husband, like there's a certain amount of like responsibility that requires you to be in charge. Like and same with being a mom. It's you have to be in charge on a certain level. You can't be a doormat, right? And then you have to mingle that in with the unmanageability and completely relinquishing control at the same time, which I think that the relinquishing all control and early sobriety, turn your will and your life over to the care of God as you understand them in early sobriety by yourself as an individual with your peers is a relatively easy task. It's super hard, don't get me wrong. I mean, in the scale of difficulty in new sobriety, it might as well be a 10. But when you look back on it as you progress through your journey, the trudging the road of happy destiny, you realize that that was like a 2 in difficulty compared to like your life getting more complicated and having a family. And you know, plenty of people get sober with the family unit already there. And that's again, it's very tricky because, you know, if you're a parent, you can't turn it all over on a certain level. Like you have to go establish boundaries. You got to make sure your child gets his homework done. You got to make sure the bills are paid. You have to make sure of this and that and this and that. So there's a certain amount of showing up and having to manage the situation, which I find to be ultimately super frustrating in the alcoholic mindset of turning my will and my life over to the care of God as I understand him, right? Like I know that that everything's going to work out, right? At this stage, at 15 years into sobriety, I kind of know that everything's going to sort of just work out how it's supposed to, and that it's ultimately going to be okay, no matter how it plays out. But in that sense, like I can't just sit there and count on that. Like I have to do the next indicated action. I have to show up and do that. And what I guess I'm getting at, and a lot of what I've been talking about lately, is there's sort of these paradoxical realities in sobriety, right? You have to surrender and take charge at the same time, which is a like you have to be in acceptance of your character defects, right? Like you have to embrace your character, your worst qualities to make them work for you. It's very much this thing of it's easy to get confused, right? So I look at my last couple weeks of life spinning out of control, regardless of what I have to do with it, right? What I have to do with it is to sometimes just sit and let it spin out of control. And yet I'm still a parent, man. I'm still a husband. I'm still a small business owner. I still got to pay the bills, right? I still got to pay the bills. And those bills, like I can't call up the bank or the credit card companies or the gas company or wherever and go, I'm just turning my will and my life over to the care of God as I understand it. Like that's why I didn't pay my bill on time. They're like, I don't care about your bullshit. You're gonna get a penalty because you didn't pay your bill on time. Oops. And so in there lies this constant vigilance of showing up just enough not to be in control. Trust me, it sounds ridiculous when I say it, but it's true. Is you gotta be leader enough to follow. And it's funny now that I think about it, because I said, every day is a new day, right? So today this morning we showed up and we changed our routine a little bit. We got up a little bit earlier and we sat and we read some stuff and we talked about the fact that us as a family unit have been blowing it spiritually and that we have not been operating to our fullest potential and that it has been very hard to get I mean, we're a small family. There's three of us, right? It's been very hard to get us all on the same page, right? And so today we started anew. We started anew and some stuff came up today, but we were in a far better place to deal with it than when we were yesterday, because I think at a certain point in this journey of sobriety, there's no days off. There is no downtime. There is no I just need to put my feet up and relax. It is game on, dude, and it's always game on. And that's what I mean is that's the trick, right? Is to be willing to show up and lead and manage your life without managing and leading the results. Letting the results be in the tapestry of God's will for you. It's some advanced algebra. Like, seriously, dude. Sometimes it is the most baffling equation ever, and yet ultimately it's super simple if you can just let go enough. And me, I'm a pretty rigid person. Like again, like as a human being, as an alcoholic, I live in a dual reality at all times. I'm a super laid back person that is extremely uptight. Like, how does that work? How does that work? Like, so, for me, if I look at my own character defects, like I could lose my, I could set something down and I can't find it. And it'll send me into a spin out. I will spin out. I won't really be able to deal with it. I can't. And then something catastrophically major will happen and it doesn't phase me. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, there's like this weird level of it where, like, it's so big and out of control that it's quite apparent that only God can handle it. Like, it's super obvious. Only God can handle that. Like, about a couple months ago, like, our septic system went belly up, dude. It was such a giant, overwhelming problem that all I could do was give it to God. And God sent in the cavalry, dude, and everything showed up. The money showed up, the people showed up, everything just fell into place, dude. But when I remember when that first moment of this catastrophe occurring, I was like, it's so big and out of my hands that, like, I gotta turn it over to God, because I can't fix this on myself, dude. Right? I don't have the tool in my garage to fix this one. So I had to give it to God. And sure enough, dude, it was almost instantly, like, handled by like the right people showed up. Like, it's a pretty miraculous story. And yet at the same time, the little things will spin me off the map. And that's where my alcoholism really like gets a hold of me, dude. It's not the big things, it's the little things. It is like, where did I put my glasses? Like that, all right, so in my journey of alcoholism, like, there was a time when I didn't have glasses. I didn't need glasses. I didn't wear glasses. This is a relatively new reality for me. And it is extremely frustrating for me. Like, it's frustrating that I need them on a certain level. But what's more frustrating is I constantly misplace them. And that level of unmanageability spins me out, dude. Like, that's what I mean, is like, it's the little things like that and as as I grow in this story, right? As I grow in the story, I become more and more accepting of the situation. And I actually like find myself operating differently about it, because I'm not in like, and that's sort of what I'm getting with this paradoxical existence of an alcoholic, is like, I know what to do when something big happens. Just turn it over to God. Super obvious. Just give it to God, dude. Oh, my whole town burns down and my house burns down. Just, God, you got this, right? God's like, yeah, I got this, dude. No big deal. I go, dude, I can't find my glasses, dude. I don't bother to like go to God with that one, right? Like, I forget that I have to like turn that over to God too. That I have to, right? Like, candidly, the power greater self source of sanity, right? So I keep the insane as I keep repeating the same thing. So I keep losing my glasses, but that's not even the problem. Like, that, I have to just accept that I'm going to keep misplacing. What's the insane part is I keep getting frustrated about it, not knowing that like there's a level of acceptance of the unmanageability, right? Like, so which gets me ultimately around the corner to be the leader about it, dude. You know, I got to get the little old lady chains or something. I don't know. The granny chains on my glasses, dude. Put them around my neck. And so what I'm getting at is it's super hard to like juggle it all and allow it, the unmanageability, to be managed by like God, because like you can't doormat it. So there's a certain amount of like manageability you have to take on. And in there is a level of unmanageability you can't trip on either. So you get to these moments where it's almost insane. It's insane. Like, I've been trying to call this friend of mine for like a week, dude. And he's in the Puerto Rico, right? He's in a different time zone. Every time I'm like, I'm gonna call that guy, I'm like, oh, I missed the window. And then I'm like, and then I gotta, and it's like this crazy like thing, and it spins me out every time. I'm like, and then I'm like, I should call now, but I'm always in the middle of doing something when I remember that I gotta do this. And so like there's this level of insanity in alcoholism that is not going to go away. And that's okay, because today's a new day, right? Today's a new day, man. And so today's been a pretty functional day, man. And because it started out with a certain level of manageability in the unmanageableness, right? Like, if you know what I'm talking about, you'll understand it. Because when in the beginning, like, I was fully like aware that I didn't have any real control over the situation. I just had to go to the meeting. Like, right? Like in the beginning, like that's why I'm always like, dude, like you like in the beginning, take advantage of the beginning of sobriety. Like, you go to the meeting, you raise your hand, you do the work with the sponsor, you read the book, you be of service, you collect a bunch of time, you collect your chips, you get your cakes, you do your thing in the beginning, man. I always trip on people that I can't do that. I go, dude, it's never going to get any easier than the difficulty of the beginning. Like, that's what I mean is like, I think, again, the paradoxical, right? The hardest thing you'll ever have to do is get sober. And then at a certain point, you will realize that that was the easiest part of sobriety. The most difficult thing you'll ever have to do in your life was the easiest part of sobriety. Like, how does that work? How is that? Riddle me this. And so, that's where like we keep progressing, right? That's where you have to surrender to this thing and just be like, okay, like more will be revealed. And that's kind of what the new day is all about, right? Like you get to the new day and you realize that like, oh, yeah, it wasn't that yesterday really wasn't that big of a deal. As crazy and out of control and shit show as it was, eh, it's pretty minor because today's a new day, dude. So it's alcohol is a symptom, not the cause. What are we getting into? Alcohol is the symptom. Yeah, well, and yeah, of course. The alcohol was never the problem, dude. It was the solution. It just stopped working, dude. That's the rub with the whole thing is the drugs and alcohol were the solution. It just stopped working. And then you were left with lots of problems, dude. Like that's the thing, right? That's why we started drinking in the beginning, right? Is because it solved the problem, dude. Yeah, it's a coping mechanism, dude. It made it that much easier. And then it stopped working. And by the time it stopped working, it had covered up you had coped with so many problems that all you have is problems, right? Like that's that. I mean, that's I think the difference between being sober and being in the midst of active alcoholism is like the sober mind kind of takes care of the problems so they don't compound. The alcoholic in active alcoholism just smooths over the problem with some drink or drugs and just stacks it with the other problem. I deal with it tomorrow. I'll deal with it tomorrow. And manana, manana, manana. And then when you get sober, you've got this overwhelming pile of problems. And that's why the steps are laid out in a very specific way, you know, like that is why this fearless and searching moral inventory of yourself doesn't is step 4 and not step 2 is because if you were to do the fearless searching moral inventory of yourself without realizing that you're insane and having realized that the only way to deal with your insanity is to turn your will and your life over to the care of God as you understood him, you would go into do step 4 totally out of your mind. It would jack you up, dude. And again, is that I think that's why people truly have trouble doing the fearless searching moral inventory of themselves because they haven't done step 2 or step 3 authentically. Because again, is step 1 and step 1, the first part of step 1, I think most people can get to it is like I was powerless over alcohol, cocaine, weed, pizzas, cookies, sex, gambling, whatever. I was powerless over that thing of alcoholism. The second part is the unmanageability. I think people struggle with that a little bit more, but like, yeah, you can kind of just ball that one up with the first part of step 1, the powerlessness. And then, but step 2, I don't think people really grasp step 2, came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. See, like most people don't like realize that step 2 is just admitting that you're insane. Like that's all step 2 is admitting you're insane because step 1 is you're like I can't control the alcohol in my life, so unmanageable. Step 2 is like underneath the unmanageability and the alcohol is in the insanity. And that is where most people waffle. Nobody really wants to be like, oh, I'm crazy. Yeah, we're crazy. And what Bukowski, I think it was Bukowski said, you know, only a crazy person can claims to be sane, dude. So like you're the sanest thing you can do is to admit that you're crazy. Like that's the first step in sanity is to admit you're crazy. Again, paradoxical, right? The first sane thing you can do is admit you're crazy. And that almost like redirects the whole thing because if you can admit that you're crazy, that's why your life is unmanageable and you're powerless over alcohol is because you're crazy. Then you go, oh, well, I need to, what's my answer for that? And that's why step 3 is sitting right there, like, boom, dude. Came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity that turned my will and my life over to the care of God as I understood him. Turned my life over to the care of God as we understood him, right? Like that's step 3, right? Because once you realize you're insane, and that's the first sane thing you've done is realize you're insane. Like you got to go somewhere with that. Like you got to take that package and immediately run with it. You don't want to sit around there too long. You don't want to sit around like the first sane thing you've done in a long, long times is to admit you're insane. Like, okay, like that paradox will not exist in space too long. Like that the human mind and cannot deal with that level of paradoxical existence that like the first sane thing I've done is to admit I'm insane. You've got about 30 seconds to go over and turn your will and your life over to the care of God as you understand it, because like you need to dump yourself right into like that sort of a headspace, because like being insane and your sanity is based upon your acknowledgement of insanity is like so you don't want to stay around in step 2 that long. You just got to get the concept, understand what's being required of the understanding of self, and go right to God with it, right? And then the minute you're there with God, like you got to instantly act on it, dude. Like that's, I know dudes that do the 12-step program. There's like a bunch of dudes who do this, all 12 steps, all the work, all the stuff in 24 hours. They do a 24-hour 12-step thing and just blow through it, because you like some of these things you don't want to stay in step 3. Once you got step 3, you need to act immediately, dude, because again, if you understand step 2 that you're insane and step 1 that you're manageable and you're powerless over alcohol, how long do you want to sit around and wait to act with God, right? Like, because step 3, right? Turn my will and my life over to the care of God as you understand. The very first thing you're supposed to do when you turn your will and your life over to the care of God as you understand him is to do the fearless moral inventory of yourself, right? Like, you're not supposed to go buy pizza. Like having turned my will and my life over to the care of God as I understand him. That's not like, oh, I'm going to go like get a girlfriend or buy a new pair of clothes or go skateboarding. Like, no, you're supposed to immediately begin the fearless searching moral inventory of yourself. Like immediately, dude, because you, again, this is my thing. From the minute you understand the concept of 2, you got to go right to God. And the minute you got God, you got to go right into the fearless search. You don't want any gappers in there, because that's where the alcoholic mind can just be like, let's take a break there, dude. This is overwhelming, bro. Let's have a couple drinks here, dude, while we mold this turning my will and my life over the care of God as I understand him. No, it's just like, boom. If you're doing that, if you're really turning your will and your life over the care of God as you understand it, and you're an alcoholic, you better just go jump on the hand grenade of your fearless searching moral inventory. You can hang out there for a minute, because that requires you to do some deep diving on yourself. But once you're there, you're kind of already jumped into the deep end. Like you're in the water. And that's where you do like, but see, most people, they jump, like, it's like, think about it like this, dude. Step 4 for most people, right? If they haven't gotten 2 and 3, the first 3 steps dialed, they jump into the water of the 4th step and immediately go, it's cold, and climb out of the water. Like, ah, it's cold. If you've got God and you know you're insane and you're powerless and you're unmanageable, you just dive into the water and you're like, this is cold, man. And you just sink to the bottom of it and swim around and like, all right, dude, like God's got me, dude. God's my heater, dude. God's gonna make the water warm, whatever it is. And you swim around and you do your work in there. I think most people jump into the pool before they have God, before they've admitted they're insane. And then when they jump into the 4-step pool, they immediately get out and then just go right to the bar. Yeah, give me a drink, dude. That's too gnarly. And that's I think the part of the gig here, man, is again, these are all like, it's all about like making a move on this thing, doing the action, dude. Quick, dude, make a play, dude. It's funny, dealing with a lot of people that are struggling, like people want to sit around and like figure it out. My advice is don't try to figure it out. Like, you don't need to figure it out. You've already figured it out in the first half of step 1. That's all you needed to figure out, is you're powerless over alcohol. That's the light bulb. Bing, I'm powerless over alcohol. Once you understand you're powerless over alcohol and your life's unmanageable, what do you need to figure out after that? Because what you do, like the minute you think you need to figure it out, you'll realize you're insane. Like only an insane person would admit they're powerless over alcohol and their lives unmanageable and then be like, I need to like figure this out. Like, you just admitted you don't have the ability to figure it out. Like, that's the rub with step 1. You don't have the ability to figure it out because you're powerless over alcohol and your life's unmanageable. So only an insane person would sit around and be like, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't, like, why do I got to go to meetings? Why do I got to do this? Why are you asking that question, dude? Didn't you just get the answer a second ago when you admitted you were powerless over alcohol? Because if you're not powerless over alcohol, then you can sit around and debate these things. Like, oh, well, I don't know. I don't go to meetings, dude. I don't like to be in AA. I don't like to do any of this stuff because, well, then you're not powerless over alcohol. So what are you doing here? Oh, but you are, because you can't stop drinking. So how about instead of figuring all that stuff out, you just go, I ain't going to figure it out. I don't have the bandwidth to figure it out because I just admitted I'm powerless and it's unmanageable. Like that's what I trip on that. Like, that may be like how I got this far in the game. The minute I acknowledged I didn't have any power over the alcohol and that my life was unmanageable, I stopped asking a lot of questions. I stopped being like, can you explain to me why we need to do that? Like, that doesn't make, I was like, fuck, whatever, dude. I don't know. I can't stop drinking. So what do you guys got? And they're like, dude, this is what you do. You show up, we go to these meetings, you take some chips, you raise your hand, you sit in this room, you drink some shitty coffee, you hang out, you talk, we go eat some pizza, we drink more coffee, dude, smoke some cigarettes, whatever it is you got to do. We're just not going to drink today, dude. Can you do that? Can you give me the philosophical understanding of like what this is all about? Like, that's what I mean. It's like, like the concept of admitting step 1 is so that you stop debating your need to understand what's going on and being like, how many people sit around and like, I don't really like to go to meetings. What? I thought you were powerless, dude. So all of a sudden you got your power back? All of a sudden you're like, I don't like to go to meetings, dude. I got this, like, the one thing I got control over is I don't like to be in meetings of Alcoholics Anonymous. What? That's fucking insane. Like that's what I'm saying. Like my mind cracks on this on a certain level of like, how many people I don't like, and they're like, why isn't it working? why am I miserable? Or like, why can't I maintain my sobriety? And then you're sitting there trying to like psychoanalyze or philosophize like the meaning of sitting in a room of alcoholics. You know why you're sitting in a room of Alcoholics Anonymous? Because you're powerless over alcohol and your life's unmanageable. And so you're hanging out with some people that have figured it out, dude, who are like, oh, yeah, just sit here and stop trying to figure it out. Like, that's my one advice. If I can give anybody a piece of advice, don't try to figure it out. If you suffer from alcoholism and your life's a shitstorm because you can't stop drinking or smoking crack or fucking weird people or doing whatever it is that you're doing that's destroying your life, if you need to figure it out, then you're not done, dude. If you need, I don't like it. I don't like it. That shit to me, I'm so over it. Because you know what? You know who doesn't like it? This dude. But you know what I did right? I just fucking admitted I was powerless. And I'm like, fuck, you guys, what are we doing here? You mean I got to sit in the room with these morons? Yeah, that's what we do, dude. Okay. Really? Yeah. And what do I got to do? I got to raise my hand and go, "Hi, I'm Hamish. I'm an alcoholic." Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm powerless. I can't stop drinking, dude. Oh, but all of a sudden I'm like Johnny fucking in control guy. Like, I don't do that. I'll drink and sleep with weird people and smoke crack and puke all over myself and crash cars and get arrested and get DUIs. But I won't raise my hand and admit I'm an alcoholic because I don't like to, I don't want to be in, I don't, like that to me is insane because that's the one thing I got. You want to know I'm 15 years sober? Because when I got here, I was like, okay, you're right. I can't stop drinking. Like, fuck, what do you guys got, dude? Really? Like, will that work? You mean if I just raise my hand and do you think any one of those dudes, the Joe and David, when I used to go to meetings in the beginning, you think I was like, oh, this is bitching, man. Can't wait. I was like, this fucking sucks. These people are fucking blow. They're like, yeah, but you want to stop drinking, don't you? And I was like, yeah, I way want to stop drinking more than I want to give a fuck about a bunch of people sitting in some room, dude. Like, you got to make that balance. You either want to stop drinking or you want to give a fuck about some other people who have stopped drinking. That level of weirdness, I can't with people anymore. Just like, I don't like to go. Well, then go fucking drink yourself to death. Just go fucking pour the booze down your fucking gullet and shut the fuck up and stop asking questions, man. Or go to the room, fucking raise your hand and admit that you don't have any fucking control over your ability to put a fucking bottle or a crack pipe or a dick in your mouth, dude. Like I'm thinking about someone right now who knows the fucking answers. And it's literally like, and I'm like, but you can't stop fucking drinking, right? No, I can't. Well, then go to the fucking meeting with all the people. I don't like to go to meetings. Well, then fucking drink and shut the fuck up, man. I like this pussy ass fucking group of people. And I got it. It's alcoholism. But I'll tell you what, you got to want to be fucking sober, dude. Because if you're going to fucking bitch out because I don't go to fucking meetings, I don't like AA, fuck off. Fuck off. That's my advice to you. Just fuck off. Or fucking pick up the phone and save your fucking life, man. Like, everyone's beating around the bush, dude. Everyone's looking for some easy path. It ain't easy, dude. But I'll tell you what, the easiest thing you'll ever do is the hardest thing you're ever going to do, which is just to fucking admit it and get it on, dude. And that's where I'm at. Like, I'm just, there's too many people that can't even get to this message that would be like, oh, You mean I can do that? Because I'll tell you what. I will tell you what. When I ran in front of those into David and Joe in front of the liquor store 15 years ago, I had no idea there was a way out. I was clueless, dude. I had no concept that there was a way out of my alcoholism. No idea. And I'm telling you, if you've made it this far and you actually are turning away from a solution, if you're actually showing up, wanting to get sober, and people are like, this is what we do, and you're like, yeah, I don't do that. I don't go to AA. I don't like to be around fucking people. Fuck, I didn't know that you could really, because when I got here, I was like, I just want to stop drinking, bro. Like, help. And they're like, this is what we do. And I was like, fuck, all right. Shit, I'll sit around these dumbass meetings. I'll sit and listen to these squeaky chairs and these morons talk about like there's the solution and the stuff. I will sit with these people because you know what? I ain't drinking. Oh, I'm not drinking, dude. Like, really? So sitting in a room full of people I don't want to hang out with, doing what I don't want to do, gets me to stop drink. Well, how does that work? How does doing what I absolutely don't want to do, how does that work? Because it makes me stop drinking. Doing what I don't want to do gets me to stop drinking. I don't want to go to AA meetings. I don't want to do the work. I don't want to read the fucking big book. I don't want to be of service. I don't want to do any of that shit. Never have, never will. But you know what? I don't drink when I do it. Whoa. Dude, you're not going to get me to figure out some philosophy on it. I don't have any answers why it works. I don't fucking know. All I know is I do what I absolutely don't want to do, and I stop drinking. And it's worked for 15 years. 15 years of me doing what I don't want to do with a bunch of people I don't want to hang out with in a room I don't want to be in. Lo and behold, I don't drink. How does that work? That's the paradoxes I'm talking about, dude. That's what I'm saying. If you don't want to drink, stop trying to figure out what it is you want to do, because I want to drink right now. Right this fucking minute, man. I want to smoke weed, snort coke, eat mushrooms, fucking lose my mind on a bottle of fucking Jack Daniels. But you know what? I'm not going to, because I'm doing what I don't want to do. And it's allowing me to actually have a life. It's so weird how that works. Because I'm an alcoholic. Dude, what you think, 15 years sober, dude? I'm not just chomping at the bit every now and then No, dude. I love drugs. I love alcohol, dude. I love getting fucked up and puking on myself, dude. Why? I don't know. But I don't do it anymore because it doesn't work. It has no ability to alleviate this. But you know what does work? Getting up every day and being grateful that I didn't drink yesterday. You know what absolutely 100% works? Not getting up and being like, I went and fucked the world up yesterday, dude. I get up and I'm like, you know what? I didn't drink last night. Fucking won. Touchdown, dude. Because that's not my life that I had before. The life I had before, I woke up every morning with a hangover and like a bunch of problems that were unmanageable. So unmanageable. The only thing I could think to do was drink more. Like, so that's what I'm getting at is there's a path, but if you're gonna like judge it and try to figure it out, you're doomed. You're doomed. It's the thing, man. That's the thing. If you could figure it out, you would have figured it out, right? That's the thing. If I could have figured it out, I wouldn't have needed to get sober. I wouldn't have needed to drink in the first place, dude. I would have levitated myself right to the top of Everest or whatever, dude. You know what I mean? But I couldn't. I can't. I don't know. So I got the only thing I can do that works to my advantage is to not drink and do all this stuff I don't want to do. Like do you really think this is what I want to be doing at a 7 o'clock on a Wednesday? Like, oh, I'm like, yeah, bitching, dude. No, it's not, dude. I want to be complaining about something else or doing Legos or whatever. I want to do 1,000 other things than talking about like being sober. But you know what? This will prevent me from drinking tonight. Me sitting here getting all fired up. Dude, I ain't going to drink tonight, dude. I'm going to wake up without a hangover tomorrow. You know how rad that is? You know, like an alcoholic like me, you know that the odds of me knowing I can't know for sure, because literally like an aircraft full of booze could crash on my head. I don't fucking know how it works, dude. The beer truck could just drive through my house, dude, and just spill right on my head. Just, the irony of it all, right? What I'm getting at is I pretty much am quite assured at this point, to the best of my knowledge, that I am going to wake up tomorrow without a hangover. And you know what? That's a miracle, dude. And that miracle is only due to the fact that I admitted that I was powerless, my life was unmanageable, and I did the work, I did the steps, and I went to the meetings, man. I don't know. Maybe you can do one of these Instagram guys who lift the weights and jerk each other off. I don't know, dude. Maybe that works. Maybe just circle jerking with a bunch of fit people is the answer. I don't know, dude. I just sat with a bunch of crusty people and shot out other people, and we're like, dude, what are we going to do, dude? And they're like, this is what we do, man. We read this stuff. We be of service to each other. We just help each other out. Dude, you know what you're going to do, dude? What am I going to do, dude? Because I don't know. What am I going to do? How am I going to stay sober? You're going to help a newcomer. You're going to help someone who's trying to achieve sobriety get sober. Huh? What? Yeah, that's how you're going to stay sober, dude. Really? Yeah, you're going to pick up the phone. You're going to talk to somebody who's pickled, and you're going to share your experience, strength, and hope. And that's what's going to keep you sober. Really, dude? Okay. How does that work? Why do you care, bro? Well, why do you care how it works? I can tell you 15 years later, I don't care how it works. I don't care if it's a cult. I don't care if it's a propaganda machine. I don't care if it's all bullshit. I ain't going to wake up with a hangover tomorrow. And that, to me, is hallelujah, dude. That is the good news, baby. Because, dude, that wasn't my story. When I got sober, I realized I had a hangover for no less than a decade. Imagine me having a hangover for a decade. That when I got like 100 days sober and I finally started to feel better, and I was like, oh my God, I have had a hangover for a decade. I have woken up every single morning not feeling right, just feeling wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say I wake up every day like finger popping, like, yeah, this is bitching, dude, like, woohoo. I wake up most days like, fuck, this is gnarly, and I don't know what the fuck to do, dude. But you know what I do know what to do? Not drink. That's my starting point. Like, I know what to do. Don't drink. Go from there. Oh, okay. You know what I can do now? I can pray. Because I'm not like, I took the I'm going to drink off the list. I can pray. I can be grateful. I can help another alcoholic, dude. I can pick up the phone. I can call someone else. I can go, dude, I can't fucking manage today. Dude. I might drink. And they're like, oh, really? Let's talk about it, dude. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. What is going on that you think drinking's going to help? The sun came up. So what's your problem, Dave? The sun came up. Like, I don't need a big excuse. Literally, dude, the only excuse I need as an alcoholic to drink, my eyes opened. My eyes opened. Oh my God, I'm back. Here I am, dude. Like, whoa, dude. Because you know what, man? I have plenty of dreams where I'm out of my mind, pickled. Ah, ah. That's a free pass, dude. I get to, like, I don't know, dude. There's plenty of dreams I got where I'm at the club, dude, popping tops, dude. I wake up, I'm like, whoa, dude, I'm sober, dude. Well, now what? Okay, dude, just pray, dude. Be grateful. Do this. I'm telling you, dude. All I can tell you at this point is as fucking crazy as this life is, it's pretty epic. It's way more exciting than when I was pickled, dude. D Brun right there, dude. David knows, dude. That dude saw me out of my tree, dude. That was the last dude to truly see me ham-skied, dude. Out of my mind. And I caused David a bunch of fucking grief in the beginning, dude. Because that's what we alcoholics do, dude. Bunch of grief. But I will tell you, dude, every time I tried to figure it out, it fucked me up, man. Don't try to figure it out, dude. That's why I like advice. Listen, I'm being on a certain level, dude. Like I'm talking like nuts and bolts about alcoholism. But if you're suicidal, dude, everything I said about like don't like suicide's a different thing, dude. Like, look, dude. Like suicide's a real problem, man, with a lot of people, and a lot of people don't understand that like it's okay to have these thoughts. It's okay to think that that's the answer. What's not okay is carrying out that answer, because what you'd find out is on the other side that like it wasn't going to fix anything, and actually everything wasn't that big of a deal. So look, if you're suicidal, man, please talk to someone. Anyone, dude. Talk to the Korean clerk at the car checkout thing who doesn't speak English if you have to, dude. Anybody, dude. And so or you can call someone specific, like you can call 1-800-273-talk, 1-800-273-8255. Your life's important, man. I mean I talk tough with the alcoholics and all that stuff, but on a certain level too is we're all whistling through the graveyard if we don't admit that we want to live, dude. And no one really wants to take their life, dude. I know it seems like you might, but I don't think you do. So please pick up the phone, man. And if you're in the UK and Ireland, you can call 116-123, dude. And literally, like, there's no shame in admitting that you're at the end of the rope and to ask for help. Look, the most powerful thing I've ever done in my life was asking Joe and David for help in front of a liquor store, dude. It changed my life, man. And all I did was ask for help, dude. And that's all you got to do is just ask for help, dude. Don't listen, man. This whole, on the final thing, this whole live Wednesday night thing started because my good friend didn't ask for help, and he stuck his police issue revolver in his mouth and took his own life, dude, because he couldn't admit that he had gotten a little over the deep end with prescription medication, dude, and it was destroying his life. And that dude didn't pick up the phone, and he killed himself, dude. And he didn't need to, dude. He was a rad dude, man. Super cool guy, dude. And it bums me out to this day. And that was a long time ago, dude. Like, well, it wasn't a long time ago, but so we need you, man. So we need you, dude, on all seriousness, like, about this thing is suicide's no solution. So with that said, you got the numbers. Call someone. And if you're an alcoholic or a drug addict, dude, you can type in your town, central office, AA. You will get a list of meetings as well as a number for central office. You can call that number, dude. Somebody will pick up the phone and you can go, help. I can't stop drinking, drugging, doing whatever it is. I need some help. And they will help you, dude. That's what we do, dude. Like as crazy as it sounds, that's what we do to stay sober. So help another person maintain their sobriety by allowing them to help you get sober, dude. Like that's how it works, dude. It's all a team sport, dude. We all need each other, dude. And that's one of the hardest things I had to learn in this game was that I needed people. I'm a hermit. I needed people, and people have done nothing but show up for me in my life. And I still have trouble dealing with the humans, but at the end of the day, dude, they have blessed me. And through them, God speaks to me constantly, dude. So, and with that said, I'm going to get going here and get back in the game, dude. So that was a fired up sober Wednesday, dude. So we'll talk at the next one. Illusion signing off.